Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you about how to make money in real estate fast. All right, why would you need to make money in real estate fast? If you're anything like me, life's giving you some obstacles to overcome, some challenges, some unexpected expenses, things that have happened to you. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how I've overcome those and made money fast in real estate. All right, so I'm gonna break down several ways in how I made money fast in real estate, why I needed to make money fast in real estate, and get prepared. Have your box of Kleenexes ready because I'm gonna share with you some very intimate stories, like my vulnerabilities and how I overcame those. All right, it's 2008. I had just bought my first rental property 1 year prior, and I just got my real estate license, and all was well. But then 2008 happened. Me and my previous wife had just moved to the coast. I was selling real estate, and all that kind of stopped dead in its tracks in 2008. We had to go ahead and tell our landlord that we weren't going to be able to afford the rent anymore, and we ended up moving in with her parents in a 900 square foot house. 4 adults were living in a 900 square foot house with 1 bathroom, and there's also a child in this house as well. This was rough on me. I had a real estate license, I had a business, I owned a rental property, and here I am moving in with my wife's parents. Now, I loved my in-laws, I loved them, but no man should have to move in with their in-laws. So I took some advice from my grandpa, and he said, go back to college, start over, reset, join the Air Force. So I went to the Air Force recruiter, and guess what? They weren't taking me. They weren't taking people like me at the time. They were full. So luckily I'm coachable, and they said, go next door to the Army recruiter. They will take anybody. So I did. I'm very coachable. So before I knew it, I was on a plane to basic training October 2009 and in Afghanistan by November 2010 for my first 1-year combat deployment. I come back to Germany. We're living in Germany, me and my ex-wife. So we trained for 1 year. So we're in and out of the field. So I'm like always gone again. And then I'm on the way now for my second deployment, my second 1-year deployment. And I'd been putting packets in to become an Army officer because I wanted to move up in the ranks. I'd become an E5. I was a sergeant. But I wanted to do something a little bit more. So I kept putting these packets in, kept getting denied. At this time, I had this crazy thing happening in my life. I'm about 3 months into my second deployment, and my ex-wife stopped taking my phone calls. She basically left. She was done. She was done with me being gone all the time and no longer wanted to have anything to do with me. So it crushed my soul. But then I got pulled out of Afghanistan, brought back to Florida to go to college. I got accepted into this private school, and guess who was back in real estate? Me. This whole video is talking about how to make money fast in real estate. So I'm getting to that point, but I had purchased a house right next to the college, and I started house hacking it. And I purchased the second house within 2 months of buying the first house. And I'm renovating the second house as a rental, as well as taking a full entire 6 classes, plus having to pay for these classes in a private school, as well as renovating a house. So I needed some money. I had overpromised. I was behind on my promises, behind on my bills, and embarrassed once again in my life because I now am a grown man with getting a college education, about to be an Army officer, but can't afford to pay the contractor that just renovated my house. Plus, I got to pay for 3 classes. So I sought out a way, and I found a list of people behind on their mortgage, what we call notice of default, or lis pendens. They're going through lis pendens. And what I did was I got the actual addresses of these houses, and I got in my car, and I drove to all 10 of these houses, and I started boldly knocking on the door saying, hey, my name is Brent, I'd like to buy your house. And guess what? I wasn't met with hugs and cookies. I was met with very angry people, and most of the time it would be big guys that would answer the door, and they would intimidate me, and they wouldn't be happy to see me. So my knocks got quieter and quieter, and eventually I resorted to leaving just small little Post-it notes on the front door saying, I'd like to buy your house. If you're interested, call me. Well, guess what? So he said, hey, I'd like to sell my house. I've got 30 days until the bank kicks me out. What can you do? So I was actually on heading the opposite direction to this house when I got the phone call. So I turned around really quickly. I said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. So I went and met with the seller, figured out what his house was worth. It was actually in pretty decent shape. He just pretty much stopped paying his bills because he had a tragic event happen in his life, just like I had happened when my wife left me when I was in Afghanistan. So things happen in people's lives, and how can we serve? So I was there. I listened to the guy. I figured out a way. I got his property under contract on a purchase agreement, and I'd been watching YouTube videos just like this to figure out how to do it. So I got it under contract for about $150,000. The house was worth like $175,000. So I found a buyer that was going to pay me $155,000. So technically, after all said and done, I was going to make almost $5,000 on this first wholesale deal. It's basically, I was just assigning my contract. I was going to wholesale this house. Well, once I had it under contract, I now had a ticking clock on my shoulder, and I was a little nervous. So what did I do? I used that nervousness and I got to work. I get this thing on Craigslist. I put it on Facebook, buy sell groups. I put signs out talking 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 155. And I was trying to put this house to everywhere. Well, I actually had someone respond to one of my Craigslist ads, and the guy bought 4-bedroom, 3-bath houses. So lo and behold, he ended up getting this one under contract. I took it to a title company. They handled everything, and I got a quick check for about $4,500 net profit after all was said and done. Well, guess what? This one turned into a second one. Someone had seen my ad on Craigslist that had another house under contract about 20 minutes away, and she called me. She says, "Hey Brent, I got this thing under contract for $140. I'm trying to make $149 on it. I know it will sell. It's at a discount. Do you have any buyers?" I was like, "Absolutely, I've got buyers." That whole fake it till you make it type thing. I was just like on a high. I just made $4,500 net profit. I paid the contractor to keep him at bay. I paid for about 2 out of the 3 of those classes that were due. And I was like, let's do it. So I called that buyer. His name was Lou. Lou didn't want it, but guess who did want the house? The house in Sebastian, Florida. It was the title agent that just closed the deal for Lou, that also brought me Lou as the buyer. She wanted this house. She paid $149 for it. I got a $9,000 check. I deposited it, and I brought the person that brought me the deal on Craigslist a check for $4,500. And before I knew it, in about 2 weeks' time, I was able to pull in $9,000 net profit on 2 real estate transactions that made me money quick. And I got all those classes paid for. I got the contractor paid up. He was happy now, as well as I had surplus money left over for the next semester. All right, so I got another story of how I made money really fast in real estate. It was actually a couple years later. But before I do, I would love for you to comment below, like when you've made money fast in real estate, or a tragic event that you've had to overcome in your life. You know, I respond to all of these. I check all these comments and respond to them. So go ahead and comment below, and also like this video while you're at it. All right, so here we are. I talked to you about me being in college. I was house hacking. Didn't even know that was called house hacking at the time, but it gave me so much extra money. I literally bought the house next to the college and was renting the rooms out, made some great relationships, and then bought a second rental that I was renovating. But here's the best part about that entire 21 months that the Army sent me to go to school. I actually met the woman of my dreams while I was going to school. It was actually through a mutual friendship that he had introduced us, and we hit it off. We ended up getting married shortly after, and she came with me to Colorado. We now have 3 amazing, healthy children, and at this point, we're on baby number 2, and here I am, repeating the past. I'm always gone, always training, about to deploy again. And I had already made money fast with real estate, but I kind of put that on pause because being an Army officer, that's a lot of demand. Like, I'm on base 12 hours a day and gone most of the time. Plus I had 2 brand new, very young babies and a wife that all wanted my time, and I wanted their time too. So I was once back again where I needed to make a lot of money really fast in real estate. So what did I do? I started searching for answers. I used the skills I'd already acquired, and I mailed a list of vacant raw land that was behind on their taxes, and the owners were out of state. And out of this list of 687 postcards, and I'm going to give you that postcard today as a free gift, but you got to watch to the end, and I'm going to give you that link to go and get that postcard that I use. And this postcard has made me millions of dollars, I should say. This one postcard, I'm going to give it to you today. But I mailed that list, and I did 2 deals from that list, and within a couple weeks of themselves, and these parcels of land were within a couple hours from my house. But that gave me the ability to know that I can keep doing this and make a business out of this and get out of the military and spend more time at home with my children who need me, my wife that needs me, and who I want to be with. So it gave me lifestyle freedom, time freedom, geography freedom, to the ability to keep doing these deals and making money fast in real estate. All right, as promised, that free gift. There is a link below in the description. If you go to thelandsharks.com/postcard, I will give you that free gift. You'll put your email and your name in there, and you'll get an email with my postcard that I use. But I've turned this into $1 million business. This business pays me every single month. I've got over 100 land notes now paying me. We flip parcels of land, and I've got a tried and true method that I'm actually teaching people how to buy this stuff at massive discounts, buy land at massive discounts, and turn around and sell it in your sleep. So if you're interested in finding out more, head on down to thelandsharks.com, fill out the form, schedule a call with my team, and if we're a great fit, I'd be honored to coach you.